Just going to do a short story time. If anybody helps on it. If they don't, we might just do one anyway and then catch it on the replay. When those late nights can't sleep, early morning, or late night, early morning. One of those two. Okay, we'll start. Hey everyone, I'm Lori Joe. I've been going to do this for a long time, and you know how I guess I'm a procrastinator, and I didn't really know it. Kind of procrastinated because you know there's people in your life that can steal your shine from you, and what you once loved to do, they take that away from you. But that being said, I feel like that was taken from me, and I want to get it back. Hi, thanks for hopping on. So yeah, I want to get it back, and hey Minnesota, Ohio here, Buckeye. I want to get it back, and I want to have some really cool story times to tell. I hope they're interesting. I hope they can strike some. I'm great. How are you? God bless you. God bless you. I needed that. You have no clue. This has been what a terrible 5 days I have had. I'm not going to share until it's all said and done, but I would love to share because I think it can save someone's life or keep someone out of harm's way. What's happened to me. With that being said, no problem. I'd like to start by introducing myself. I'm Lori. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I have 3 daughters, 1 son, and 8 grandbabies. Oh my God. And it's Christmas time. Is everybody ready for Christmas? Or getting ready for Christmas? I know I'm not, nowhere near, but hey, it is what it is, right? It's not about the gifts. Good for you. That's awesome. So I was going to share a story. Yeah, that's all right. The tree, I always put up a big tree and a smaller tree. Whatever, you know what I always tell people, we're all different. We all have different likes and wants and needs. A little tree may not be right. A big tree may not be right. So it's what you like. All the time. All the time. Yeah, I guess that's what you call them. So I was gonna start by this one incident that had happened to me one time about 15 years ago. I lived in a little town in Cincinnati, Ohio. It was called Newtonville. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of that town. I had, excuse me, I was at my house and we had an ADP home alarm detector, right? I do need it. And you may know me probably by saying that. So we had that on our house, right? Now I don't know if any of you know much about those, but when you have those on your home, you give 5 names for the officer to call if someone it was to break into your house. They have to call them one of those 5 names and get lead way to enter into your home, right? So I had gotten up early that morning. There was a little diner up the road from where I lived. Went to get me a coffee. I wasn't gone 15, 20 minutes at the most. When I came back, there was like 5 cop cars at my house. And I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I get out and I walk in my house and there was flashlights going all through my house and officers. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And they said, your home alarm detector went off. And I said, do what? Well, how? So what had happened is when I left, I didn't pull the door all the way shut, which triggered off the alarm, which then called 911 for the cops to come. But they failed to do their job. They didn't call nobody on the list. They entered my home without permission. With that being said, 7 officers in a home. Okay, I walk in And I'm like, I believe everything's okay here. I don't think we need 7 officers walking around the house. I mean, I live in a rural area. It not much, not a very high crime area. Yeah, it might be. I don't know. Never heard that before, but could be. You might be right. You never know. So, but you know what got me is they were going through my house. They wasn't looking for anybody that broke in. Okay, they were looking for drugs. They were looking for an arrest. They were looking for anything they could get to get me and in trouble. And I was a single mom of 4 kids. Right. I had just gotten back from the Bahamas, and I bought my boyfriend at that time a Bohemian pipe. It was really cool. It had 2 red beady eyes, had a big long kind of cool beard, and it was carved by a Bohemian. And I, it just made me think of. But the main thing about this, I call it a pipe. It did not have a hole. You couldn't smoke out of it. Okay, there was no way you could smoke out of this pipe. So as they're shining around in my house, they shine on my curio cabinet, and they see that Bohemian artifact that I had brought back. Right, took it, brought it from the Bahamas, brought it through customs, paid taxes on it, blah blah blah. And he says, "What's this, ma'am?" I said, told him what it was, who it was for, what I bought it for, where I had just gotten it. I still had the braids in my hair, like 4 days ago. I said, and he said, "Can you get that out, please?" I got it out, and he says, "That's paraphernalia," and I said, "No, it it's a artifact that I collect that kind of stuff, and it was bought for a special person or a special someone in my life." And do you know? He looked at me and said, "It is a paraphernalia, and if I were you, I wouldn't say nothing." And I'm like, what the hell does he mean? I wouldn't say nothing. So he takes it, right? And I'm pissed at this time. I'm livid. So they leave. Not, I had nothing else, I guess, that they were interested in. There was no one in the house. They leave. And the ticker I got madder and madder and madder. So I called the sheriff's department and told them what happened. The deputy sheriff says, "I have no call on in Newtonsville. I have nothing about a pipe being brought in, no paraphernalia or nothing like that. I will look into it." Do you know, 20 minutes later, I had a knock on my door. It was an officer giving me a ticket for a drug paraphernalia. At that time, I was 35, and I had never, ever, ever gotten any kind of charges in my entire life. And I'm like, oh my God, a drug charge. Because I opened my mouth. Oh, he told me not to say nothing, right? Right. He told me not to say nothing. So I have to go to court on this drug charge, drug paraphernalia charge. I hired an attorney. It cost me $1,500 to hire this attorney. So I hired this attorney, and we get to court. The pipe is nowhere to be found. It wasn't even brought in for evidence to prove that there was no hole to go, that you could even smoke out of it or nothing like that. And the case was dismissed and thrown out. So just, can anybody elaborate on that? What they would think? What they would have done? I kind of let it go and die down, even though I paid $25 for the pipe, and I really wanted him to have it. It was something special. And me, I would rather have something special as money. I'm not a materialistic person, but I like when if somebody buys me something, it's special to me. You know what I'm saying? So my theory on that is the cops weren't in my house looking for anybody. They were looking for something, is what I would think. I would say. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of ironic. No comments? Well, or something. So yeah, I just thought that I'll just keep my channel going. Hey, the ones that are on here, why don't you check out my couple of my videos? There's me, my daughter, my sister, and my niece and nephew, and my grandson. He was 4 at the time, went to Florida. We went to Clearwater, our favorite place to go. And we seen a, I don't know, I'll let you guys look at the video and tell me what you think it is. Because a lot of people say it is a crocodile. Some say it's a manatee. But if a manatee looks like that, that don't look like no manatee I've ever seen. And it caused a big controversial, everybody was arguing back and forth. But I mean, we seen it. You know what I'm saying? I was there. Eyeballs right there looking at this thing. And the way crocodile mouth, the mouths open, you could tell when they come up he pokes his head up out of the water. So it clearly was a crocodile up in the bay. Yeah, it made for a pretty interesting conversation. Can you guys hear me okay? Getting over a cold. The weather here in Ohio has been crazy. What's it been like in Minnesota? I bet it's been cold. If you've watched the video, please ignore the foul language. I hadn't anticipated on putting it on my YouTube channel, but it got like 755,000 views and likes, dislikes, comments, blah, blah, blah. And in one post, I was like, oh my goodness gracious. But the language is kind of, it freaked us out. I'd never seen nothing like that in the Bay. And I go to Clearwater maybe 3 times a year. So it was kind of, ironic seeing something like that. Shania Twain. Okay. Alrighty. Okay, if nobody has any comments on the officers coming into my home and rummaging through my house, basement and all, bedrooms, basement, kitchen, laundry room, the whole entire house, looking for a robber or a break-in, and I end up getting a drug charge or a drug paraphernalia charge, but it's dismissed. It ain't on my record or nothing like that. I guess we'll call it a night. I got to work in the morning. Couldn't sleep, so I decided to hop on here and do a short story time. Everybody have a good night, sweet dreams, and catch you on the next one. Now here, let's see. Thank you. I don't know how to end this live. Don't know how to end it. Strange. Okay, cool. I really don't. That's crazy. YouTube has really changed. Huh. Okay, everybody, have a good night. See you next time. Thanks for hopping on. I appreciate it.